Top of the morning. It's the review for Country Rain on June 15th. I'm going to sit and review today. Um, Haven't pulled off yet. But we're going to talk about this past weekend review. Um, yeah, let's chat about it. Hmm. Uh, the primary thing that was going on was pretty much that I watched. Yeah, you got the Dom situation and, you know, the mom coming, trying to make it right with Dom and stuff like that. But I just look at it, the apple just don't fall too far from the tree in that situation. Mike got his hand full. Only thing I hope is that when the time comes that he needs to go and run and cry to somebody about the things that are happening in his relationship, I hope it's not to Sonny. And if he decides to go to Sonny, I hope Sonny shut the door because he has made an ass out of her just for far too long. So she got bone over there, getting tattooed. Hopefully they connect and vibe, and she can let Mike get Mike up out her system. Mike, whatever you're going through or gonna go through with Dom, just let it be. Just take it on the chin. Deal with what you gotta deal with. Put your t-shirt back on. You and Bobby and Whitney. Y'all gotta realize though, Bobby and Whitney was on that stuff. So yeah, they had something in combined to be crazy. Mike, hey, so be it. Bethany, Larry, Brooke, all of them, it just goes to show you that looking at Lucretia's situation and looking at Bethany, Larry, and how they raised Brooke, it goes to show you sometimes that, not even sometimes, it's just in actuality, they're trying to raise your children and give them everything that they want and everything that they need and not give them discipline and not teach them common sense and stuff like that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. I think that's been like one of the huge, and I'm going off on a tangent. That's been like one of the huge disconnects when it comes down to from generation to generation. 60s and 70s parents, they didn't have it. So we got raised a certain way. We still had to go out and get it. We had discipline. I'm from the South. So, of course, we still had that yes ma'am, no ma'am spirit. We still respected any and everybody from people inside your household to the next door neighbor to the folks down the street to your teachers to everybody else. Everybody got that yes ma'am, no ma'am, back and forth. So that's something, like I said before, they're not teaching these kids, and it's obvious. I don't see really too much of a difference between Brooke and Hope and Faith. All that back talking back. 18 doesn't mean that you're grown. Like I tell my kids, you're not grown until you're able to fend for yourself and take care of yourself. And even if you do get to the point, or where mine has gotten to the point where they fend for themselves and they take care of themselves, you still need to show me some respect. I mean, the way that they talk to, how Brooke talks to Larry and Shara, and, oh, I'm finna go, or this, that, and the third. And then on top of that, like, just sit down, and I get it. All that yelling and stuff, maybe, perhaps, it's not sinking in, but, have a conversation with your kids. My kids used to be always thinking, like, oh, you're going to rent me a car and do this for me. Or if I go out of town, you'll rent me a cabin and put in your name. Sometimes you have to sit down and explain to them, because just saying no and yelling and screaming, of course, sometimes they don't know. They just don't know, like what Brooke walking in and saying, okay, I didn't know you have a car note. So those things should be discussed. Teach your children, talk to them. you know have discipline, set some structure and some boundaries, but also give them some teaching moments. I had to explain to my kids, no, I'm not going to rent no car because A, you wouldn't be insured. So, which means if you go out here and tear something up, tear somebody else up, do this and do that, no, I'm not going to rent you no cabin, because why? It says 25 and up. And you and your friends going in and tear a TV off the wall, they're going to run my card. I'm going to go, I could get sued. So, it's just certain stuff they need to be sitting down trying to teach this girl and she need to be receptive to shut the hell up and listen. And it's just like, I get it. You know, you're privileged and you just do running your mouth, but girl, shut the hell up. I mean, and I mean do it moving. Shut the hell up. All right, let's touch on this whole situation with the podcast broads. Or should I say the podcast women and Wayne? Hmm. Wow. First and foremost, can they go ahead and get this stuff up and running? I mean, because that podcast room should be up and going by now. They could have got the furniture made, handmade from the Amish folks by now. They could have got this stuff delivered from Timbuktu. So can we get the doggone podcast up and running? So we can go ahead and start revealing some stuff. Because I'm guessing the Iman, I mean, I get it. It's basketball season. The Knicks just won. He's all up at the games and stuff like that. So the chances of Iman coming back anytime soon, at least not this week, I don't think. You know, he's pretty much basking in the glory of the Knicks and whatnot, what have you. So probably not going to happen. So it's like it's time to start revealing the whole scenarios of what's going on with these here folks. Ugh. I think Wayne is the catalyst of mess between all of this. But hey, women, we need to be held a little bit more accountable. Yeah. Lauren going after Wayne is tacky and tasteless. Wayne receptive to dealing with Lauren is tacky and tasteless. But Wayne, as well as Anthony, as well as Mike, all of them willing to run in the same circle and dealing with the same woman and women, it's always been tacky and tasteless. So, and I get it, you don't want to keep adding and paying more people. So you want to deal with what you got. But it's just tacky and tasteless. I mean, I feel sorry for Tamara, but then again, I don't feel sorry for Tamara because Tamara was warned. But I guess in the midst of it all, with everybody telling her that he's never did all this for another woman, you really do have in your heart of hearts that I am the one, that he's going to change for me. You know, you typically tend to think that a person is going to change for somebody. He's going to change for me. But then, too, a lot of folks don't seem to think that, hey, he ain't finna change for nobody. And you got to listen to what this person is saying. If you meet a guy and the guy sit here saying, I don't ever want to get married. I don't care if he moved you in the house. I don't care if y'all been shacking for 10 years. He got it made up in his mind. I don't ever want to get married. So you have to be comfortable with who you dealing with. Tamara, you know, she was putting all this stuff to the side. But like I said before, she had people in her ear saying, you know, Shayla constantly, everybody else who knew him was like, oh wow, Wayne never did all this. Oh, you must be different. Oh, Wayne took you to meet grandma and all this. Oh, he ain't never did that for nobody else. So I guess she kind of like felt like I have reached that, you know, I'm that one. I'm the one. But sis, yeah, girl, just if you're able to, like a lot of people aren't able to separate money from emotion. If you're able to separate money from emotion, go for it. But if you're not, go ahead, quit. I'm waiting on. We all are. We're all waiting. I don't think Shayla gonna take it too well because if Shayla was ready to grab Lauren and help beat on Lauren for Tamara, oh, it's gonna be quite interesting with her because at least these other ladies have something else, you know, going for themselves. They got other incomes and stuff like that going for them. Whereas Shayla is putting all her eggs into this Iman basket. And if she see that every last one of her eggs are crack, including the egg of finance, it ain't gonna go too well for Delicia. Delicia gonna probably have to quit or get beat up. I don't foresee them sitting at the table and having another kumbaya moment saying, hey, everybody just need to get along and put your emotions to the side. Um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You know, I hope they go ahead and start peeling back some of the layers of all the treacherous backstabbing mess that they got going on. Also, watching in and out of Ralphie and J Diva. Um, Ralphie finna get caught up with that girl Ashley, and honestly, once everything is revealed, they gonna both end up just being two cheaters. Nevertheless, it's gonna be another situation like with Anthony and Amber. Once it's all said and done, they both was two cheaters. Just one ended up with a baby. So it's gonna come. They're gonna end up just dealing with it. We got two cheaters because he fit cross the line with Ashley. You know, if you're already not getting what you need, that all see that's what you have to be careful with, people. Cheating don't start just off the bat. Cheating start with conversation. And when Ralphie is opening up to conversation, letting that girl in, they talking more on a personal level. Whoop the whoop the whoop the whoop. She already hot in the ass and want him. It ain't gonna be long. It ain't gonna be long at all. So, they gotta, take that into consideration. It ain't gonna be long at all. Nevertheless, y'all have a great day. Hope y'all have a great week. Stay tuned for more of the riding reviews or the sitting reviews. Please subscribe, comment. Let's chit chat about this situation, what they got going on over here in Country Rain World. All right, y'all have a good one. Oh, and let's just talk about it. I don't want to do too tough, make this like about politics and stuff like that. But let's just talk about that trashy display at the U House, at the White House. I mean, it's just trashy. I never thought I would see the day they done turned the whole White House into a Wrinkly, Barnum, and Bailey circus. And that's what that was. Forget all the racism and all that kind of stuff. Let's just talk about just. And then it was a taxpayer dollar. Like, at this point, don't take that out of my taxes no more. Let me fend for myself. Let me figure it out. I bet you I figure it out a whole lot better than the government trying to figure it out right now. Because that was just tacky and tasteless. And I'm hoping that Michelle Obama kill all that. When they go low, we go high and all that kind of mess. No, they go low. You better take it to the floor. You better take them to hell. She needs to be filing a defamation lawsuit on whomever that Rassler was and everybody else that was there. Anybody's name she could come up with from the top to the bottom. Go and sue him. That's what he doing. He's suing all the networks and whatever who's saying anything bad about him. Just sue him, girl. Let's call it a day. But anyway, not going to talk about politics too long. Just trashy. Nevertheless, y'all have a great week. And don't let these people out here disturb your peace and get all up in your system and in your emotions, honey. Do something to make yourself feel good. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's going to the movies, getting some popcorn, or propping up and going to buy yourself a new pair of socks. Do something to make yourself feel good, honey. All right. Y'all have a good one.